Hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so a little bit about us. We are the Kettle Moraine Ballast Scorchers. We're a nonprofit educational organization. We were established in 1975 in West Bend, Wisconsin. That gives you an idea where we are.
Yeah. And our location is 215 North Main Street, Suite 60 in the lower level of the rear building in West Bend. We typically meet every Wednesday night, and however, we do have some Sundays that we do meet for op sessions and things of that nature.
Most Wednesday nights we dedicate to our work sessions because this is a layout in progress. We do pick the first Wednesday of the month typically for conducting our business.
Mm-hmm. And these next two pictures here kind of show a little bit of the progress that we have made from obviously 2017 all the way to 2019 from our move and whatnot.
So shows a little bit of the progression. And basically what our layout is, it's a double deck design. One level is HO and then the other level is N scale.
Yep. And both layouts are DCC operable and that.
And so what we do is we loosely, and I use that term loosely, the Chicago Northwestern Valley line, let's say right around 1970s to 80s, but we do welcome modern equipment, and then it goes all the way up to Green Bay from there.
Mm-hmm. And then we also have it that our main yard on the HO is split in half. One half is Milwaukee and the other half is Fond du Lac. And the short line railroad on the layout is the Wisconsin connecting lines.
So we're going to start our tour. This train is a couple of SD45s, Chicago Northwestern SD45s, heading westbound, leaving the yard. And this is the Wisconsin connecting lines, which is our short line. That's their facility.
Mm-hmm. And then when we moved, and that many of the structures from our old layout that we had to take down, we actually brought over incorporated into the new one. Some of these structures here in Granville are actually some of the newer structures that were purchased and built by a club member who adopted this area.
This is our third location, and so a lot of the stuff has been moved from layout to layout.
Just imagine those 45s growling, right?
Yep, flames squeal around the corners.
Oh yeah.
So here it's entering our busy city of West Bend, and there's a Wisconsin Southern local that's in the clear waiting for it to pass. City of West Bend had a little bit of history. So we're going to do a quick video.
Yeah. Hope the technology works for us.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Ah, yes, 3985, great locomotive.
So that's another shot of the Whizzer locomotive waiting to do its switching duties. The city of West Bend actually is one of our towns that's rather well completed at the moment, other than the streets. But we actually have all of our buildings lit up already, and other effects. A lot of figures are starting to pop up on there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And a lot of the buildings are actually named after club members and that. And this shot here is actually kind of a nice pan shot because you can kind of see that we took the layout and we didn't want to just make it straight track because no railroad is straight. So it gives this nice sweeping curve all the way down and around and then into the next area, onto somewhat of our peninsula, we call it, for the layout.
Passing an old burnt out tower of a former interchange at one point in time.
And of course, you know, what's Wisconsin without, you know, the farm, the local farm. So we basically try to make it as kind of as Wisconsin-esque as possible.
We got a couple of cement producing plants. This is a big industry. When we do operations, this provides a real challenge to the operators. And that's kind of our idea, was to have a very well operated layout.
Mm-hmm. And that kind of same idea comes through with the little town of Kewaskum here. We designed it for operations so that people can literally spend an hour and 15 minutes in there moving cars back and forth. And then obviously, of course, you got to have the mainline services. Even though, you know, the hillside quarry here might be small in that, it's still going to produce cars that the railroad still have to move.
And a quick shot of one of the rural towns of Campbellsport. This is a section that's actually on our swing gate. This is designed to open when there are no trains on it. And it kills a section on either side, so that nothing goes on the ground, but it can open and close, so it makes for easy entry.
Yeah, exactly. And then of course we had to throw a small little league championship game on the layout, and so many people during our open houses get a kick out of this one. And this one here, in this picture with the Grow Wisconsin WSOR unit, is actually sitting on the Eastwood Bridge. And I think if a lot of movie fans out there like Back to the Future Part 3 might know the bridge.
So we bring a little bit of history into it that way, as far as the movies go. We do have a Golden Spike area. That was May 16th, 2018, when we completed our main line on the HO side of things.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, you know, we're still continuing to follow those beautiful SD45s out in the countryside. Just going along more farm fields, more open area, because we wanted to stagger a little bit of the towns a little bit, because you didn't want to just go in from one town right into the next one.
And as you saw there was the beginning of a subdivision there where the farm fields may not be there too long.
Yeah.
But this is a Wisconsin Southern train waiting in the city of Eden, as we're calling it, switching another industry. So it's a lot of these small little pockets and stuff like that, where you always have to duck in during an operating session and wait for stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Dan knows too well about that for op sessions in the past here. But then once you cross the double track bridge there, we're coming into our so-called Fond du Lac. That would be the end termination point and whatnot. And from there, you'll roll right into the yard. In the background, you can see some more of the industries and whatnot. But now for a little bit of fun, we're going to listen to the GB&W 307 bark going across the double track bridge. Mm-hmm.
The bridge itself is actually a lift out section that allows us access to a staging room or a storage room.
Mm-hmm.
So
and now we're going on to the upper level of the layout in our room, and that's the end scale, because many of our club members and that actually have multi-scales.
So this kind of picks up the C&W's Valley Division, and we go now from Fond du Lac up to Green Bay. And we got a shot of a Wisconsin Southern train leaving the Fond du Lac yard and going across some of the crossings here.
Yeah. the end scale is a little less complete, but we still can, it's still a work in progress. There are members that are working very hard on areas and whatnot to make it look more and more like an actual railroad.
Yep, like this industry track is, as we say here, the track is being laid in this location, and hopefully in the future, the person that's adopted that area will get along a little bit farther.
Yeah. And then the so-called Neenah location, and that actually just before that, we actually have the end scale golden spike, which was laid on July 25th, and this is just another shot on the other side of Highway 144 as the train goes to the up the grade on the so-called double track on the end scale.
The main line's kind of split here. We've got a lower line and an upper line, and this way trains can pass. And this just happens to be over the HO scale yard. So a lot of activity can happen on the HO scale while not much activity happens on the N scale. And it's a little darker in this area, depicting a storm, and we don't want to have a trailer park and a storm because that's not a good sign.
Another movie reference of Twister, I believe.
Yes.
So, and here you can see now, this is where we kind of did a crossover of the two main lines. One would go over the top and the other one goes underneath. So now the WSOR is going to be coming down the grade back towards the single track location in the little town of Appleton.
Little.
Yeah.
Well, little on our layout.
Yeah, little
but
on
it's
our layout.
It's in another area to get away from the country running and then get some more industries for people to switch. But we don't want to crowd the industries, and that's why we want to have these areas of just running.
And this is another location that a club member actually adopted. So he's building all the roads, as you can see right here, crossing another major county highway and that. But a lot of what the club members are doing is kind of bringing out their own designs for industries and switching and that.
Just like the HO layout had Wisconsin connecting lines as its short line, the N scale has the Wisconsin-Illinois Northern Railroad, and you could kind of call it Green Bay if you wanted to. It could be a terminus, but that trains can either go by it or through it as a staging yard. And this is the short line, Wisconsin-Illinois Northerns, two engines that got painted, and one was recognizing the club's 25th anniversary in the year 2000.
And funny note about the Weiner yard, and that was actually part of our old layout, and it's actually part of the junior engineer program that we bring to Trainfest, actually.
Yeah, the yard has pretty much everything that's in the questions that we asked the junior engineers. So it's very easy to have them point out all the different diesel facilities, steam facilities, etc.
Now we're coming kind of up a little bit of a grade, but that's only to accommodate the double opening swing or actually lift gate, I should say, of the N scale. That saves a lot of our backs. It saves a lot of our visitors' backs when they're coming in and out and that, because along with the HO where we can swing it out, the N scale, we can just take it and lift it straight up and it stays up.
Allowing for people to get in. And this is kind of the end of the run as we pass by this rock quarry that completes the loop of it and brings us back into where the N scale line started. So for just running sessions, you just go around in a loop this way. And then for operating sessions, you can use that yard that we talked about.
Yeah. So now from here, we're basically going to just kind of give a little bit of highlights of around the layout from the different open houses we've had, the different op sessions that we've had so far on these layouts. Right here, we can see beautiful pair of Sioux Line F7s. I think the club member Renat, I think he's taken them now and heavily weathered them. Like, I think they always look better that way.
So again, just kind of a quick view. Now that our tour of the layout's done with that was the C&W locomotives, now we're just going to show some other stuff here. Get some shots of other equipment that's been running around the layout, and a little bit more details of some of the facilities and other equipment that's visited.
Yeah, exactly.
The two-tone blue locomotives are the Wisconsin Connecting Line Railroads locomotives. That's their color scheme, the dark blue and light blue.
Yeah.
And that's one of their cabooses with the Wisconsin Connecting Lines WCL logo on it, right by one of the yard towers.
Yeah.
Or the yard tower.
It is the yard tower. And of course, I mean, the shipping wars, they just started on here. I mean, in my personal opinion, I'd go with the UPS box cars versus the FedEx truck.
Just because we prefer rail traffic over that.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, you know, we got, like we said before, we got all kinds of different little farms dotted around the layout.
Just to give that rural America look.
Then, nope, sorry.
Yeah, this is the end scale, a view of the upper level. Here's a train that was running at one of our open houses.
Yeah.
The little beer can tank cars behind that. It's probably like a 70-car train or something like that.
Yeah, roughly. Yeah. And then this shot here, just, you know, Brandon Power sitting at the engine facility in Winery Yard. It's kind of funny how you can find all different kinds of locomotive power at on a club layout, from the modern stuff all the way to the older stuff.
But you can see many of our club members really like the Midwest railroads. So you're going to see a lot of Wisconsin Central, Wisconsin Southern, Green Bay and Western, and Northwestern.
Like this one right here, talking about Northwestern, and we got the fabulous 400 right in Fond du Lac here on our yard. That's actually the nice new Kato set that just came out.
So that wraps up our video presentation for Trainfest. So you can find out a little bit more about our club at the next slide here.
Yeah.
We have a website, kmbsrrclub.org.
Yeah.
And that will post a lot of our events.
Yeah.
And we do have a Facebook page as well. So make sure you follow us and like us there as well.
Yeah. Yeah. When you follow us on the Facebook page and that, you can find out when all of our events that were happening, like the open houses.
And if a little plug for our club itself, if you want to join, it's adult membership and normal memberships, just only $72 per year. We're one of the very low memberships in the area. Yeah. But we, like it says here, we do it all for the love of model railroading.
Absolutely. That's the main point, to basically keep it going, you know. for the next generation.
Bring more people into the hobby.
Exactly. So that actually concludes our PowerPoint presentation and that. So we hope you guys had a good time. We hope you enjoyed the layout tour and a little bit of our plug for the club.
And we'll see you at Trainfest 2021.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed, right?